Hi guys, and welcome to another video on the Hefni guitar channel. A quick shout out to my followers in Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines and Singapore. This week's video we are going to expand on technique studies for the melodic minor scale that we introduced 2 weeks ago. So the melodic minor scale, what we learned in that lesson here was just the scales. This week I want to talk a little bit about how to use them. The thing about the melodic minor scale is actually an intermediate to advanced level topic, and it's something that you need to study first. Okay, but I believe that some of you guys may have already some of the theory, but some of you may not. So let me do a quick, summary of what melodic minor is all about. Okay, the melodic minor scale, let's do C melodic minor. So the notes are C, D, E flat, F, G, A, and B. So if we were to stack the notes in thirds, and then we would get C minor major 7, D minor 7, E flat augmented major 7, F dominant 7, G dominant 7, A minor 7 flat 5, and B minor 7 flat 5. So take a minute and analyze these. You can freeze the video, analyze the intervals to get the chords. Now, how do we remember the melodic minor scale? Well, obviously the first chord is a minor major 7. The second chord, D minor 7. Okay, so this is interesting because normally the second chord is also a minor 7 in the major scale. Okay, so that's similar. Let's skip the third chord. Now, the last 4 chords are easy to remember. Chord 4 and 5 are dominant 7th chords. Chord 6 and 7 are minor 7 flat 5 chords. So that leaves the only, difficult to remember chord is chord 3, which is a flat 3 because a melodic minor is a major scale with a minor third. You can see it that way. So it's a flat 3 augmented major 7. Okay. Having said that, right? If we were to take a look at the 5 chord here. So the 5 chord, just like in your major scale, is also a dominant 7. If we were to take a look at your 2 chord, it's also a minor 7, similar to the major scale. So if you were to do a 2-5, right, it's similar. It's a 2 minor 7, a 5 dominant 7. The only difference now, instead of a 1 major 7, you get a 1 minor major 7. Now the next step, let us name the modes of the melodic minor. The first mode of the melodic minor scale is obviously the melodic minor scale itself for mode 1. For mode 2, we know that it is over the D minor 7, but we have a flat 9 in there as well as a natural 6. So we call this mode the Dorian flat 2. Okay, we're going to skip the third mode for now. It's actually called Lydian augmented, but we'll skip that. We're going to go to mode 4. This one is important. This is Lydian dominant or Lydian flat 7 over the F7. The fifth mode is also very important. This one is the Mixolydian flat 6. Mode 6 is Aeolian flat 5, and mode 7 is called the jazz altered scale, the altered scale, or sometimes the Superlocrian. Although I've seen some books call the Superlocrian as mode 6, okay, but we are going to use this convention where mode 7, we'll just call it Superlocrian or the jazz altered scale. So the first thing we want to learn when we are learning the melodic minor is to know how the chords actually relate to the scales. Okay, so what I mean by that is, so if we play C minor major 7 over here, but we play C melodic minor over here, doesn't connect because your scale is here, your chord is over here. So we want to figure out, okay, if we play it on the middle string C minor major 7, what would be the corresponding melodic minor scale pattern that would fit this? And the answer would be the G Mixolydian flat 6, which is we get the Mixolydian flat 6 from the Mixolydian scale, G Mixolydian. But then we lower the natural 6 to a flat 6. So we get... And that is our starting point. So... C minor major 7 attaches itself. Okay, peg that in your mind. Peg that to the Mixolydian flat 6. So the mode after Mixolydian flat 6 is your Aeolian flat 5. Right, and the second chord in the C melodic minor is D minor. So as you can see, D minor fits within Aeolian flat 5, Aeolian flat 5. Okay, so peg that chord shape in your memory with your Aeolian flat 5. Okay, so the next chord E. So the next chord E flat augmented major 7. Okay, attach itself or peg that in your mind to the B altered shape. Okay, so okay, for the fourth chord F7, attach it to your C melodic minor at this position on the 8th fret. The next chord G7, attach it to your next mode, okay, your Dorian flat 9. Okay, now the next chord A minor 7 flat 5, attach it to your F Lydian flat 7. Lastly, B minor 7 flat 5, or you can do it here. You can also attach that to G Mixolydian flat 6. Okay, so now let us look back again at the circle of fifths progression that we've been learning all this while. Okay, we are using D minor 7, G7, C major 7, F major 7, B minor 7 flat 5, E, D7 flat 9, and A minor 7, and then A7. Okay, so when we are soloing over this, the whole time we were using the C major scale, okay, on the Aeolian mode. Now the only difference with the melodic minor is we are using the Aeolian flat 5. So one note is different, which is the E becomes the E flat. One note change. So how do we apply this to your 2-5-1 in melodic minor? Okay, so let us use the 2 for melodic minor, D minor 7, the 5 for melodic minor, G7. Okay, instead of C major 7, let's go to C minor major 7. So get used to the sound. So what can we play over this 2-5-1 in melodic minor? Just use the Aeolian flat 5 and A, right? And just land on the right notes. Here's an example. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now, understanding that if instead of resolving to the C minor major 7 and you are playing over a standard 2-5-1, D minor 7, G7 and C major 7 now, right? So in theory or in the key of C, but you can actually superimpose the melodic minor over the D minor 7 and the G7, the 2-5, using C melodic minor. But instead of going to resolve to C minor major 7, you resolve to C major 7. So you get sort of that outside sound. Okay, so here's the demonstration of using melodic minor over the A7. Okay, the A7 remains natural. Okay, so the only thing that we're going to do now, okay, two ways to approach this. Either you look at it, okay, from previous lessons, so over the A7 we play the A Mixolydian, right? We want to lower this note, the natural 6, down a half step, right? So it becomes a flat 6. So the scale becomes a Mixolydian flat 6 over the A7. Okay, so essentially A Mixolydian flat 6, that is the 5th mode of the melodic minor. And we are using that over A7. By doing so, this makes us treat the A7 as a secondary dominant. Let me just demonstrate, then I'll explain a little bit in a bit. 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so this time I'm just going to go to the A Mixolydian, normal Mixolydian, okay, and then demonstrate that. So here's a quick demonstration of how we use Lydian flat 7 over the flat 5 substitution. join me for part 2 of this installment, where I will introduce how we can use harmonic minor scale patterns into the mix. So unlike the blues and the jazz chords workshop, at the end of each lesson of the scales workshop, you're not expected to have mastered every scale pattern. These videos serve more as a guide for you to come back to whenever you need. Well, if you like what I do and you would like to support me, I'm also on Patreon, so sign up as a patron there and gain access to some Patreon-only content. Also, you can support me by subscribing to this channel if you like these videos, and I certainly hope you've benefited from them. Well, I will see you in the next one. This is Rizal for the Hefni Guitar channel.